Hello, my name is Liliane Silva. I'm the Forage Specialist for Clemson Universe, and welcome to the Forage Drops channel. In this video, I'll be briefly discussing an overview of sustainability in forage livestock systems. The reason that I wanted to record this video, even though it's going to be a short one, is because this topic has become so um, frequent and so popular over the last few years that I do think that we need to be having more discussions and more conversations about what it means to have improved sustainable practices in livestock and agricultural systems from a research-based point that we are going to be adopting recommended practices that were studied and are proving to be effective to improve production, feasibility, and sustainability of systems, and especially resilience as well, as we all have had to handle uh, severe weather conditions and events over the past years too. So, just to contextualize, if there's anybody that's not as familiar with forage systems, when we're talking about forages, they are the primary feed source using by livestock operations, especially in the Southeast region. Mostly because we do have a wide range of adapted species, and this goes worldwide. But also because in the Southeast, we're able to actually plant some cool season forages and some annual warm season forages as well to complement and supplement the forage, the operations, the livestock operations that we have in the area. And that way, it allows us to extend the grazing through periods of the year that the perennial warm season or the perennial cool season forage would not be growing anymore because it's going to be dormant. So under grazing management, we are going to rely on the animals to harvest themselves the feed, and that's going to lower the cost of production, harvesting, storage, and transportation of that feed, just because it doesn't require as much labor or equipment and fuel to be moving the feed around, especially not on a daily basis, throughout most of the year. One thing that we observed is that on the last decades, forage research has focused on better understanding, developing improved management practices that can support the enhanced production, sustainability, feasibility, and resilience of the forage ecosystems, especially to support carbon sequestration and reducing the carbon footprint of the activity. Therefore, when we're talking about forage systems, we need to understand what that actually means. And when we look at a forage system that is used for livestock production, we need to look at that as a whole system approach. What I mean by that is that we need to look at the interactions and interrelationships that we have between among animals, soil, plants, um, and the environment as a continuum, just because our management decisions will be impacting all those factors. And it will be interfering with what results, for example, what yield or longevity of a stand or animal performance we're going to get from that system. So it's definitely important to understand the importance of the management and properly understanding how to address and align it to further achieve the goals established for an operation. Something that's really important to also be aware of and understand it well is that the grasslands provide so many ecosystem services for us that we need to be able to manage these forage systems properly to improve that delivery of these services. For those of you that are not familiar with this term ecosystem services, this is just defined as the benefit people obtain from ecosystems. And this could be different types of ecosystems, but basically for forages, we have for ecosystem services, we have four categories that ecosystems can provide, which are cultural, provisioning, regulating, and supporting. And most of the time, when we're talking about improving management practices that will help grasslands to improve the delivery of ecosystem services, we're going to be referring more on the regulating and supporting types of ecosystem services. And what we use as management practices will definitely interfere and impact that ability very much. So, for example, one of these services that's happening there is nutrient recycling, because animals will be consuming the forage and then returning most of the nutrients that they consume to the area. So when we're doing a proper grazing management through rotational grazing, this is definitely going to be optimizing the distribution of the excreta throughout the area. And this is going to be a source of nutrients that the plants will use to produce forage mass, but also to improve their quality as well for the animals that are consuming that forage there. Therefore, it can be some way to rely on improving forage mass, forage production, but also the animal performance of those animals grazing that area. And another very important and one of the topics that has gained a lot of attention lately, for sure, is that grasslands are definitely one of the major sinks for carbon. They are able to sequester carbon from the atmosphere and allocate that into the soil. Perennial grassland soils are very much important carbon storages because they are going to have limited soil disturbance and continuous above and below ground plant biomass input, and that plant will be decomposed, nutrients will become available, and organic matter will allow for carbon to be incorporated into the soil. Like I said on the beginning of this video, this was very brief overview. I just wanted to touch on some main points when we're talking about sustainability. What are some things that you should be thinking about? Hopefully, I'll find some time to bring up a longer discussion and maybe even bring some colleagues to address some different points of this topic later on, but I wanted to really start this conversation, start to demystify some of the topics through this series that I'll be addressing some topics related to sustainability throughout this year. Thank you so much for watching this video today. Make sure you go back and check the other topics that I have under the Forage Drops channel. My contact is on the screen. If you have any questions, make sure that you reach out and we can discuss more. Thank you.